Joshlin's mother, Joshlin Smith, her boyfriend Jacques Rowan Apollos, Stefano van Rijn and Laurentia Lombard all face charges of kidnapping and human trafficking. We'll talk now to Olivia Jasriel from the Jasriel Foundation. Olivia is also a child safety activist. Good morning and welcome to the program. The country remembers in May, that was the last time the matter sat down. It was the first time that the four accused, Kelly, Butter, Stefano and Laurentia, appeared together. And according to the National Prosecuting Authority, who was the last of the co-accused to be arrested in March, apparently confessed to a crime relating to the disappearance of the 6-year-old. So, Olivia, there's a great deal of hope that the lid is going to be blown on this one, but share with our audience why this case means so much to you and what your expectations are.
Thank you for having me and thank you for giving me an opportunity this morning. Yeah, you know, again, another postponement, and it's extremely disappointing to hear that there's another postponement because justice delayed is justice denied, as we all say. It's really, really good that it has been moved to a high court, but we were there at Joshlin's house in May when I was in Saldanha and in the Western Cape for other reasons. And there was absolutely no sign of any investigation whatsoever. The house was just standing. There was no tape around it to say that it's a crime scene. Colleagues of mine went a little bit closer to the house than I did, and it looked like somebody had broken into the house. So what investigation is being conducted is what I would like to know. That is the thing that is absolutely irking me. You know, the police seem to not be doing what they're supposed to do. It's how many months now down the line? 6 months down the line, and we are no closer to where we were the day she went missing.
Yeah, I mean, look, Olivia, we must find out from, if I may, Olivia, you know, we must find out from police what the standard crime scene protocol is in cases like this. I don't know if you perhaps aware, maybe you can share with our viewers, but once, you know, forensic sweep has been done, it's not always the expectation, is my understanding, that it would still be a cordoned off, you know, building or site, as the case may be, the home in this particular instance. So that's something we'll have to find out from police in terms of those CSI protocols.
Absolutely, you know, absolutely. But I mean, it was very, very clear that nothing had changed. And you know, judging by the initial conversations that colleagues of mine had with the police, I think they didn't really know where to even start. And you know, Joshlin is not one of, she's not an isolated case. We have got children disappearing within minutes of each other around the country on a daily basis. And how are we going to stop this? And how are we going to get on top of it and get the right people to investigate these issues?
Olivia, you know, if I may also just come in, I want to... we will go a little bit later into just some of the other details and expectations around the case, but it has emotionally captured many parts of South Africa, especially given the many investigative twists and turns in this particular story, including that tip-off that Interpol said it received about Joshlin being spotted on the Panamanian ship, the Frontier Asuka, which resulted in a 2-day search when that ship docked in Wales. But she wasn't found. And I want to go back to the early days when I interviewed you. You had some strong criticisms around the police investigations. Just remind our audience what has bothered you about the way that the investigation in the matter has progressed since we first heard about it.
You know, initially the police officer spoke to colleagues of mine, and he stated unequivocally that that children and people don't go missing in that area, and you know that it's a safe.
All right, we've lost our signal there with Olivia Jasriel. Hopefully we will try to re-establish with her. But she had some criticisms, and so did her organization. and other members of the community in the aftermath of the story breaking around work that the police should have done and hadn't done, tip-offs and information that she said that they'd shared with the police that weren't followed up on. We'd lost you there for a moment, Olivia. Just pick up the story around some of the concerns that you shared in the beginning of the investigation.
So one of the concerns I have is, what are the police afraid of? Because it seems like they are not doing anything. There is no report back from the police. There's nothing that's forthcoming from the police other than what the community are doing, getting together, organizing search parties. People have offered, our new Minister of Sport has offered a reward for her return. What has happened to her? How could she just disappear and nobody's ever found her? There's not even a lead at this point. And, I go back to the case of Liaquat. I can't remember his surname, but it was a few years back in Roodepoort. He went missing at the hands of his boyfriend, of the mother's boyfriend. And subsequently, that man is now in prison for murder, even though they never found the body. Surely, the constant postponements and the constant getting nowhere, and the police need more time. How much time do they need?
Yeah. Olivia, the MEC for Public Oversight and Community Safety in the Western Cape, this is Regan Allen, said in May that leads were still being followed up and that they were still hopeful of Joshlin being found alive and unharmed. Do you share that belief now?
I don't share that sentiment, and I haven't shared that sentiment since March.
What makes you believe that, the outcome is anything less than finding her alive?
I just feel that, there were sangomas involved, sangomas released. Again, the police said there's no such thing as sangomas in that area. There is a sangoma in that area. There has been a sangoma involved. I know that sangomas often practice under the auspices of herbal or traditionalists, and that's how they get away with being witch doctors. And honestly, it seems to be confirmed that Joshlin was sold. So what was Joshlin sold for?
Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, Olivia. Look, a lot of what you're saying has to be guided and tested by what we hear from court. Some of these claims and accusations made against the police as well have got to, be measured up against the evidence that is forthcoming. Of course, the community has their opinion. Groups that are involved in the well-being of Joshlin also have their opinion. And ultimately, we have to look at what emerges from an evidentiary perspective, because that's what is going to stand up in court. Olivia, Jasriel, thanks for talking to us this morning. Appreciate your time. We do sit, of course, in the country with a massive issue around missing children. Missing children, South Africa says at least 77% of children who are reported missing do make their way home, but it leaves 23% either never found or trafficked or found to have been deceased. And so there is some criticism that the stats are outdated, want police to be more proactive. We had that briefing from the new minister, Sanga, earlier this morning, and GBV is one of those areas of focus in the new team, accompanying the minister by those other two deputies. So hopefully the country can shift the needle when it comes to the issue of missing children in the country. Still ahead on the program, we'll take another look at news making headlines in this hour.